You know, we're told that inalienable rights weren't given to you and they can't be taken away from you, at least not legitimately. That doesn't mean people like J.B. Pritzker ain't gonna try.
Come on, JB. You just try to take my inalienable rights away, boy. You just try it.
Do not adjust your screen. I am standing here in the dark with my survival flashlight. So if the power grid goes down or just the electricity goes out for a while during that thunderstorm, you have plenty of lumens to light your way. And with multi-flashing modes, including emergency lights, not to mention an emergency hammer and a seatbelt cutter, it's got everything a survival flashlight should have. That was corny. Don't put that in there. It's powered by the sun. It's got a cool little compass. This thing even has a frickin' lighter. And if your battery's low on your cell phone, this baby will charge it up. The link for your survival flashlight is in the description below.
Illinois residents could face consequences for refusing VAXX mandate under new law that Pritzker is trying to put in place. It says Illinois Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker announced on Monday an update to current state law from the 1970s law that allows consequences to be enforced on individual workers who refuse to comply with, let's just call it what it is, the big farm guy mandates. If you don't submit to the big farm guy, well, there's going to be consequences for you, says Pritzker and a lot of other people. Regarding VAXX's masks and testing. In a statement, Pritzker argued that ritualistic shame muzzles, the magic elixir, and testing requirements were crucial in saving the lives of people in the workplace and communities. It's crucial. So if you don't play along, then you're doing something the opposite of what they deem as crucial, and that's saving lives. So if you're doing the opposite, then they deem you as a public health threat, and you're actually out there destroying lives along the same lines like, who was it? Who's that radio personality that's not relevant anymore? What's his name? Howard Stern. Howard Stern was trying to convince everybody that what the Green Bay Packers quarterback was doing was along the same lines as what Ruggs did when he got behind the wheel of that car drunk, drove 156 miles an hour, and ended the life of a 23-year-old girl and her dog. They're wanting to put that on the same exact plane. They want you to judge Aaron Rodgers by the same standard with which you would judge Henry Ruggs. It's insanity. It is insanity. The official added that one of his priorities was keeping the workplace safe. Yeah, that's what government's here for, right? Keeping you safe. I mean, forget about the track record that government in the last 100 years has accumulated a death toll of over 250 million people who actually trusted the government to keep them safe. Forget about that. That's what the government's job is to keep you safe. Pritzker praised the General Assembly for ensuring that the Health Care Right of Consequence Act was not wrongly used. Oh, yeah, we can trust government. They're never going to wrongly use a law. Guys, they wrongly use and misuse good laws all the time. I would call the Second Amendment a good law. Why? Because it recognizes the natural right of an individual to do whatever he can to arm himself and protect himself from the onslaught of external invaders. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and yet they turn it around, they twist it, they add laws to it, and they doctor it up, and the end result is you have less rights, and you have less money at the end of the day, you have less freedoms, and all of society is jeopardized. The Health Care Right of Consequence Act, which was enacted in 1978, was originally designed to allow medical professionals to refuse to receive or participate in healthcare services that are contrary to their personal beliefs. This includes religious or moral objections to specific services, including abortions. Democrat Attorney General, whoever this is, urged Pritzker to officially clarify that the decades-old legislation did not restrict workplace measures that aim to curb the spread of deadly communicable diseases such as Cosby in 1984 by George Orwell. When the governor signed SB 1169 into law, he noted that the amendment will ensure that VAXX mandates in the region could continue to protect people's lives. Employees have previously filed lawsuits claiming that they cannot be penalized for refusing to receive you-know-what because of the legislation providing a consequence-based exemption. Some work, yeah, your exemptions should be, hey, you know what? I have a heartbeat in my chest. I'm a human being. That should be the only the exemption that you need. Not a you don't need, what if they say, well, your medical exemption is no longer valid here? What if they say your religious exemption is no longer valid here? I mean, it's just too dangerous. We can't have all these people out here claiming religious exemptions because we believe that you're killing people. So our belief that you're killing people trumps your religious exemption. It should be based on the human scale. Nobody has the right to take away your rights because I'm a human being. Come on. We all know this as a society. We all know that people can take away your rights under the guise of trying to keep you safe. We know that's what governments do. We know that's what politicians are all about. And it's ridiculous for anybody to entertain the thought that this governor actually cares about keeping you safe. I mean, look, he doesn't even care about keeping his own health safe. If he doesn't care about keeping his own health safe, what makes you think that he wants to keep you safe and healthy? Gosh, if you don't care about yourself, how can you care about others? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Maybe I'm off base about this. Employees have previously filed lawsuits claiming that they cannot be penalized for refusing to receive the you-know-what because of the legislation providing a conscience-based exemption. Oh, the legislation provided that? Hey, if the government is big enough to give you everything you want, it's big enough to take everything you've got. But if you have unalienable rights, the legislation didn't give it to you. Man didn't give it to you. Nobody gave it to you, so nobody can take it away. It's intrinsic to who you are. It should be viewed by all of society as a preposterous declaration that anybody can take away your rights. It should be laughed at. It should be accompanied by a laugh track everywhere you go. Hey, I have the authority to take away your rights because I have qualified immunity and you don't. That was a good one. That was a good one, badge tyrant. Now, off you go. Legislation can't provide a right, and therefore it can't take a right away. Not in reality, not legitimately. Some workers have also claimed exemptions from taking preventative steps, including wearing you-know-what or testing for you-know-what. And I thought this was interesting as I was browsing it. This, talking about this mandate that Pritzker wants to put into place, this person right here says, then every person walk off your job. If you people would do this, the madness will stop. Show them we are in charge, not them. Try running a business, a state, a country without your working class. Firefly C, you get a hearty amen from me. That is the answer, guys. People are like, Brian, you always bitch about the problems, but you never come up with the solution. That is the solution. Mass non-compliance. The problem is there's so many lemmings out there, and there's probably not a whole lot of them. It's just that they're the loud minority. And that loud minority wants you, who are probably in the majority, to think that you're in the minority. And then they want to push you around and boss you around and bully you. The answer, the solution to the problem that we have is mass non-compliance. How do we get there? We set brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. One of the most important things that you can do is drop seeds of truth inside somebody's brain in the hopes that one day that seed will drop into that person's heart, germinate, and then create another person who wants to start brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. Because we are only as free as the people in our community. We are only as free as the enslaved minds of the people in the world. If we can set brush fires of freedom in those minds, see, our greatest threat to our survival and our security and our freedom is not the rogue tyrants of the Supreme Court. There's only 9 of them. It's not the IRS agents. There's only a couple tens of thousands of them. It's not Congress and the House and the Senate. There's only 535 of them. It's not the law enforcers. There's only about 900,000 of them. If there's 326 million of us in the United States and, global population of 7.3 billion or whatever it is, there's way more of us than there are of them. So the biggest threat to your freedom, the biggest invasion of tyranny doesn't come from these rogue tyrants or the 535 in Congress, which is the opposite of progress coming out of Washington's District of Criminals. The biggest threat is to people who actually believe that it's a good idea to call for the chains of your own enslavement. That's the biggest threat to our national security and to our personal security and to our personal liberty. So Pritzker's over there in Illinois trying to tell you that you could face consequences for refusing to bow down to the big farm guy.
Guys, we already know that they want to decimate the dollar, destroy the economy, bring us into a cashless society, and eventually make it difficult for us to even get food. That's why I constantly promote My Patriot Supply. Every chance I get, I turn my fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. This stuff is awesome. It's got a 25-year shelf life. And one thing we're all going to need is storable food. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. With my link in the description, you get $100 off of every order instantly. It'd be a good idea to order it while you can, because I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to ship this out. My link for your $100 off discount is in the description below.